What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about Jason Whitlock and the comment that he made regarding the situation with Tyre Nichols and the police, and of course, his untimely demise. So I'm going to read a quote from Jason Whitlock about this situation, and I'm going to get into my commentary. So Jason Whitlock said, quote unquote, there is a racial element. And this is a story about young black men and their inability to treat each other in a humane way. Everybody involved in this on the street level was either 24 to 32 years old. Everybody. It was a group of young black men, 5-on-1. Looked like gang violence to me. It looked like what young black men do when they're supervised by a single black woman. And he goes on to say, and that's what they got going on in the Memphis Police Department. They've elected some or put some black women in charge of the police force. And we're getting the same kind of chaos and disunity and violence that we see a lot in these cities run by single mothers. So that was his comment and his commentary. Let's get into it. First, what city is run by black single moms or even single moms in general? What city is this? Let me know. Please let me know what city is this. Now, there may be cities where the single mother rate is higher than other cities. That could be something. But as far as black single mothers running the city, no. And by the way, before I continue, I meant to say this earlier, but condolences to Tyre Nichols' family, especially his black mother. Because, I did see her and her husband do an interview, and it's obvious that she's going through it right now. So condolences to the family, especially Tyre's mother. And Jason Whitlock saying some comment like this is not helping his black mom. But then again, unfortunately, do people really care about the black moms, our black parents, but especially the black moms who have to go through, losing a child via police brutality? And I feel like they care about it when it's convenient, when they can use it in some way, exploit it in some way to push some sort of agenda or narrative, or to get black women on board with something that they need. Usually when situations come up like this, typically black men typically blame the system about this, but since black men were involved, I guess I feel like it's a bit more difficult to blame the system, so they go to black women. Usually it's either when it comes to black men evading responsibility and put it on other groups, is usually black women or white men / the system. When it comes to, oh, who's to blame? When it's really like, well, black men are to blame. And then it's like, no, well, the system. Oh, no, what about the white man? Oh, no, what about the black single mamas? They done caused the Russia-Ukraine conflict over there. Oh, no, the black mamas over there, they done caused the Taliban to take over in Afghanistan. Oh, no. The black women run the Mexican drug cartel. Oh, no. The black women done caused Brexit. No. Right? Everything is to blame when it comes to everything bad is blamed on black women, right? versus taking accountability and just admitting black men's shortcomings as men. And I understand something like that is very hard to admit. But if we don't get to that point, we ain't going to move forward and we're just going to be stuck. But I feel like we're probably going to be stuck as a collective for a while because a lot of people are comfortable with being stuck, both black men and black women. Yeah, they'll talk a good game. Yeah, they'll make a lot of noise, hoop de hoop, hop na holla. But when it comes to actually doing something to progress and to move forward, then that's when things start to slow down to a screeching halt. And you really see what people are about and not about. But let's get more into this though. So, how are black single moms, to blame for this situation? And notice, it's almost like anything that's negative is when it comes to black men being affected in some way is attributed to a black woman. And I don't think that it's not all, but it's enough, right? It's not all because, there were some prominent black men on social media who were pushing back against Jason Whitlock's commentary about that. And by the way, we don't really even know the family dynamics of the black men involved. We don't know if they even come from single parent households. That's just an assumption. Why are people and Jason Whitlock pushing this narrative making that assumption? You coming into this situation assuming that a black woman is a single mom. And also acting as if black men don't have a hand in any of this and that as if black men are just, fathers of the year. I mean, the beacon of what a father should be. I mean, to tell you, when other groups of men want advice on fatherhood, they run to black men. When other groups of women say, hey, I want a strong family structure. I want a strong leader, a good father for my children. They run to black men. No, we all know it's usually not like that. I don't see non-black men running to black men for fatherhood tips, and I don't see non-black women running to black men for familial stability, familial structure, for good fathers. No, usually they just end up getting caught up by black men and becoming single moms too, which is part of the reason why these other groups of men don't really want their daughters to date, marry, procreate, start families with whatever with black men. Because of this whole absentee black father culture. Can we call it a culture at this point? I mean, folks saying that it's the baby mama culture. Let's flip the narrative because vocabulary is important, right? Baby mamas are a part of it, but it's being pushed by absentee black father culture. But these other groups of men and fathers, they don't want their daughters dealing with black men because of that. And of course, sometimes it can just come from bigotry and racism, of course, definitely. But the thing is, I don't really be hearing that about black women, though. Notice that when other groups of men who are interested in black women talk about black women and say things that are positive about black women, probably one of the things that have come up is, black women are good moms. And even if non-black men who are not interested in black women, usually you don't hear them coming from that point of view. Like, oh, black women aren't good moms. Oh, black women don't know how to raise children. No, you don't really hear that narrative. when it comes to non-black people and black women. And also, something that a lot of people bring up, particularly women, is that, black girls are being raised in these same households, in these same homes, and black girls aren't wilding out of control like that. Yeah, black girls got their issues and ain't perfect, but they ain't running around, unaliving people like black men are black boys. And as well, when we get into these conversations, no one ever seems to bring up the question, like, what are black men responsible for? Because a lot of times when you get into these conversations, it's just about an indictment on black women and black single moms for some reason. And it's like, well, okay, well, what are black men responsible for? Like, what do black men, you know, hold the blame for? Like, what are black men to be blamed for? And, what do black men provide the community, right? Because the way that it's being presented, it seems like black women are just a problem, right? Just can't do anything right. Just a problem, just a plague on the community. And it's just like, okay, well, what are black men providing to the community besides penis and genetics? And also when it comes to like white racism, white bigotry directed at black men by white men, you don't really hear the narrative, oh, well, these white women raised them. You don't really be hearing that narrative. Usually, you be hearing the narrative that, oh, it's just, white men are responsible for their actions. It's white men's fault. No one really goes that far to put the blame on white women. And also, just speaking in general, though, it's like, why does a black mother or even a black father have to teach black boys not to harm other black boys and men? Considering that black men feel that the whole system is set up against them and they are the target of the system. And there's arguments for that, but considering if that is truly the case, then why are black men going against each other? Well, then it's, white men to blame. The system done brainwashed the black men to hate themselves. Then the black woman done brainwashed the black man to hate themselves. They just get so brainwashed and don't know right from wrong, don't know left from right, up from down, side to side, nothing that. I tell you, the black woman, she a wicked woman. The black woman, I tell you, she worse than Al Qaeda. The black woman created Al Qaeda. The black woman trained Al Qaeda. When they try to need some tips on how to be better terrorists, they come to the black woman because ain't no bigger terrorist on this planet than a black woman, than the black woman. Been terrorizing the black man and the black community since life itself. And that's just me keeping it real, straight, no chasing. I don't care how y'all feel. F y'all feelings, all that good stuff. Feel me? But, back to my commentary though. So absentee black fathers, that's the issue. That is truly the issue. Absentee black fathers not doing their part, black fathers not stepping up to the mantle of manhood and fatherhood, black men just in general not stepping up to the mantle of manhood. And also there's the whole hip hop rap music culture that's brainwashing black youth, but especially black boys. And as well, just the glorification of criminality. And then, of course, some black men have the slave buck mentality. Like, like really, it's just like really just want to have as many kids as possible, but not take care of as many kids as possible. And, to be fair, some black women do have somewhat of a breeder mentality at times. You know, being fair. Um, but I feel like that type of mentality, like it came from slavery, but it still seems to linger on for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why I can't just die. I guess it's the generational trauma that's being passed down from generation to generation. But think about it though, the slave buck mentality though. Like back during the plantation days, like black men were forced to engage in sexual intercourse with black women to breed black children, to have more slaves to sell or to use or whatever. The black woman did not have agency to say, no, I don't want to do this. She was forced to, and neither did the black man have agency. Um, but the thing is, though, when black men engaged in this activity, they were able to receive sexual gratification without the consequences of having children or having to take care of children, right? Because think about it, like usually when the children came, the white man slash the system, like the white slave owner basically dealt with that part of it, right? Either he provided for the children, just enough. They slaves, so I don't want to put that as like, oh, he's such a good father or something, our provider, or either put them up for sale, and the black men didn't really have to do anything. It was all taken care of by white men. But it's a different day, but the mentality still lingers on though. And now it ends up falling onto black women, and then black women will either carry the burden themselves or perhaps apply for some government assistance of some kind, and then get shamed for that too by black men and, of course, society in general. Isn't the argument, oh, welfare took the black man out the home? Oh, no. The black woman traded in the black man for a welfare check, for, for an EBT card, for some food stamps, for some government cheese. You feel me? And it's like, well, did black men really have a strong desire to be, you know, just the greatest black fathers that ever lived? Are the greatest fathers that ever lived? I don't know. For some reason, I don't really get that vibe from black men as a collective. Yeah, you'll have some outliers here and there that they'll in try to push out there as being the general consensus. And some black women to go for it because they don't want to give up on their black hangs. Nothing out there for her but a black hang. You feel me? Cause I know they ain't perfect. I know our kings ain't perfect, but they be trying. So I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna be hanging there. Cause our black kings, they've been targeted since forever. You know, I give my black kings a break. Cause I know my history. Cause I'm woke. Y'all can't run that game on me. I'm willing to go 50-50. I'm willing to bring everything to the table. I'm willing to be the table. I'm willing to shoulder all the burden of raising these kids and providing for them financially and emotionally. Cause, I just believe so strong in our kings. So strong in black love. Because without black love, there ain't no black you. And there ain't no black me. Okay? Without black love, this whole world wouldn't even exist. So if I gotta be the one to hold it down, so be it. But a few more things before I go. The way that these black men are talking, particularly the ones who blame, black women for everything and all that good stuff. Really, I feel like these men, low key, they're not going to frame it like this, but pretty much when you really dissect it, pretty much these black men are waiting around for black women to teach them how to be men. And that's just not going to happen. Black women, that's not black women's responsibility. Second, black women can't teach black boys how to be black men. That job is for black men to do. That's what we as the community need for black men to do, for black men to step up to do. And as well, I really feel like some people just need to give, black single moms and just black women in general some grace, right? Because I'm pretty sure black single moms, they got their own issues that they're going through internally, and perhaps even are dealing with some mental health issues of some sort. I mean, think about it. If you had to deal with like a deadbeat dad, or having a deadbeat dad for your kids, dealing with the BS that comes with living within the system that we live in, also having to deal with the racism aspect, then the gender aspect too, right? Intersectionality. Folks pretend like that's not a thing. They don't want to hear about your black woman problems. It's either your black problems or your woman problems, but not your black woman problems, all right? Then also the financial burden and stress of having to provide for a child by yourself. And then, of course, having to actually raise a child by yourself too, because it takes a lot of effort to raise a child. That's a big part of why the absentee father rate is so high, because they don't want to put in that work. It scares them. It's all good in the hood till the kid comes, and then, oh wow, it really hits them that, oh, they have to provide and raise a child, and really think about all that goes into raising a human being the right way. It's a lot to take on. It's a lot to endure. So because of that, I really think that people need to offer the black single moms some more grace than they do now. And also, I really recommend, and really feel like it's a requirement at this point, that black men have to go on their healing journey. And black women have to go on their healing journey as well. And when both of those groups really do that, then they can truly come together. But until then, it's not going to work, because black men and black women have not healed. But I'm going to bring this video to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Please let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.